from fighting in the ring to being told by the professionals, you will never fight or train ever again. Here he is, proving them all wrong. Yes, mate. How are we doing? Neil Huntley, how are we doing?
I'm good, guys. How are you?
Yeah,
Welcome.
really good, bro. Really good. It's glad to see you all. You're still looking good, fit, and you know what I mean? You're still training, aren't you, obviously?
Lockdown weight.
Lockdown weight.
We've all probably put a little bit on during lockdown, you know, that's a given. But
Yeah, but you obviously you own your own gym, don't you?
Yes. Yeah.
So, you know, obviously it hasn't stopped you when the gym's closed. Surely do you live above the gym?
Live above the gym, yeah. I turned into like a 3-bed apartment, went through a bit of a divorce a few years back, so that sort of wiped me out, cleaned me out. So the option was to get myself back on my feet, and it was to sort of live at the gym and be a gym hermit.
I mean, there's pros to that, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
fancy training, just go downstairs, you know.
Commute, I've got a load of 6 a.m. starts, and my commute to work is 5. Literally, I set my alarm at 5 to 6, and in that 5 minutes, I feed the dog, make a coffee, and walk downstairs.
Awesome.
So obviously you've been fighting pretty much all your life since school. Like what got you into fighting?
Childhood, not the best childhood at all, really. I was obsessed, I mean obsessed with typical 80s kid, martial arts, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Bruce Lee. Yeah. Massive Bruce Lee thing. All I can remember is my dad used to have all the Enter the Dragon, Jean-Claude, Steven Seagal films.
Yeah.
And even as far back as I can remember to being 3-4 years old, I'd then go into the hallway and practice their moves.
What you've just watched.
What I'd just seen.
Yeah, but I used to do that. You know what I mean?
I used to do it when I left the cinema.
I think a lot of people did.
Yeah.
Walked out of the cinema and you're like trying to be Superman.
Yeah, but you know what? They try and do these films now and they're all CGI and then all this and all that. But back then, there was actual contact, weren't there? That one with Bruce Lee? It was the last one he did, and he snapped
his ribs on it with a side kick. He caved all his ribs in with a jump kick. So, but I was obsessed with it, but not brilliant at school. I literally found a report the other day which really spun me out from the age of 9 and 10, where the teachers were basically asking if I was ever going to get better. So I was a really, really poorly child, constantly had viral infections, ear infections. I think I had grommets put in my ear at one point. Just ill all the time. And they couldn't figure out what it was. Tried different diets. I was constantly on antibiotics as a kid. And then it just slowly sort of disappeared. But I had reading and writing difficulties through school till the age of sort of up to 11, and then it weren't the best after that. But I also bullied it. I was bullied at primary school, and I was bullied all the way, most of the way through secondary school till I was 15. But it's that's stuff I've got to live with. But I have dealt with. But I got to the 15. I'd have loved for my dad to walk me in a boxing gym or martial arts, anything. If I'd had it even younger.
Was your dad into martial arts? Or?
Yeah, my dad did a keto. He boxed. One of the as me as a kid, what I was always impressed with. One of the stories my dad told me was he boxed when Goose Fair. They used to have the boxing with the travellers, and if you survived 3 rounds, you won a tenner. So my dad's claim to fame was he survived 3 rounds and he won a tenner. Yeah. So now we're always impressed with stuff like that. And my dad was a big guy. He was sort of
kind of like your idol then, isn't it?
Yeah, but he was a big, strong guy. It was 6'1", 6'2", my dad is. Or he used to play everyone at peanuts, crushing people's hands, arm wrestling.
Showing his stoic masculinity.
You don't see that anymore, do you? That'd be like some kind of abuse, or there'd be some claim made. Oh, you broke my child's fingers.
I know, my brother used to do a lot. Always at parties, have a drink in the old party. Always ends up in the kitchen. Come here, then you punch me stomach as hard as you can. I've trained on the peanuts, bam. All that kind.
And then they used to have they had a tug of war team at his workplace, NEI Engineering, and he was like always the anchor man. So he was like a big strong man. But I was a very small, weak kid. I was like 5'3" for a bit till I started shooting up in secondary school. I'd got goofy teeth, so I got beat up for that. My dad then got made redundant, so it meant that I was on like free dinners at school and stuff, and I didn't have the best clothes, I didn't have the best trainers.
Kids are horrible, basically.
Yeah, and you know what? they say what they see. My mum and dad smoke, so I know I was a smelly kid as well. I must have stunk of fags, because I can remember being sat in car and be like, open window, and like they'd open it about 2 inch and then they'd blow it out and it'd all coming back and you sort of smelling it. And so I know, it's like if you went to a pub, you could smell it in your clothes when they used to smoke in pubs.
Exactly. You used to get it all the time.
So I know now as a kid, that's why I was called a trog and scruffy and like goofy little kid.
Did you get into many fights then, or did you get?
I just got beat up.
Right.
So I never ever hit anybody back till I was 15. So from the age of 8, I can remember going home. I'd tell my mum to start with, and then it was like, why you got a black eye? It didn't end up, well, been hit by a cricket ball. Just lied for idiot for 5 had a fag sprat on the back of my neck. But there was, I've wrote it, I've got brought a little book, I always keep notes in it. The turning point was I was 15 and never met my grandma, my mum's mum. She'd passed away when I think I was 1 or 2. My mum gave me this pot and it was cooking at school, got to make apple crumble. And she went, look after that pot. It's my mum's pot. So I knew this pot was special.
Precious. It's priceless, isn't it?
Yeah. So I guess
it's a family heirloom.
So I'm like, right, it's my mum. So I'm like, I get on the bus. Coming back, I'm always sat on my own middle of the bus. So obviously all dickheads were at back of the bus. So I'm sat on the bus. Pings looks up, my stop's next. Looks to the side on me, my fucking pot's gone. The cooking pot's disappeared. And I'm like, shit.
What do you mean, like someone stole it or you left it somewhere?
No, we were outside. I put it on the bus at the side of me. I just looked out the window, turned around, it's gone. So I stands up, start shouts to all idiots about, where's my mum's cooking pot? So they're all bursting out laughing.
It's got to be one of them, hasn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I says, and I was literally, I just are in hysterics. And I was begging them, I'm going, please lads, come on, just, where is it? Just give me the fucking pot back. And they're all laughing. They went, that lad's got it there. And they said his name then. And so I went down and says, just give me this fucking pot now, where you put it. And then they started laughing, saying they chucked it out at Skylight at bus.
Wow.
So, and I says, you best fucking get me that pot now. And he was, wow, what are you going to do about it? So I literally hit him once. The first punch I ever threw, 15 years old. I must have been punched in the face over 2,000 times. Black eyes, bust, fag sprat. I mean, I broke my hand in his face. And his face hit the window and just sort of exploded.
Shit.
Next thing, one of the lads at the back of the bus went, your pot's here, you twat. I was like, fuck. So he gives me the pot. I gets off the bus. Goes up to my mum. I think I told her I'd trap my hand in door at bus. They said they shut doors. So she texts me to A&E, comes back, police are asked. The lad had hit some uncle or a copper. So at one punch, I threw one punch and I had a criminal record at 15.
Oh, Jesus.
So, and I just sat there and I was in tears. They used to take you up to like sergeant's office and he'd get bollocking me, sat with your mum. And I was sat in tears and it scared the living daylights out of me. And I thought, one punch, I threw one punch. You've got any idea how many times I've been punched in the face? They used to, at the primary school, one of the lads who lived on the next street used to literally, the sandpit used to be at the bottom of the playground. He'd wait, it made my mouth go dry then, because it's just reminding me. He used to wait till the teacher was shouting everyone in, till they weren't looking. The sandpit were about probably a foot and a half deep. He'd hold my head in the sand and make me eat the sand for like 30 seconds.
I know my mate did that, and he didn't do that. He was playing in the sand at school. His name was Michael something, I can't remember. And he got some in his eye, but it had cat shit in it.
Ugh.
But and he went like that, and he went, and he got something in his eye. Or they were throwing at each other. Do you know what I mean?
Blind him, temporarily blind him.
Yeah, do you remember?
I was at school or something.
Yeah. My year.
That, yeah.
And then he went like 50 or 80% blind, mostly blind in one eye.
You can't have cat shit around babies, can you?
That's because he rubbed his eye as he was in this, like, you know what I mean, this sandpit, like, and he was taking steroids, obviously not anabolic steroids, but he was taking steroids and all that. And they say, I don't know if it's 100% true, but they say one of the side effects, obviously, like, he got really hairy and things like that. And he was he had this massive beard, mate, and we're all dead young going, well, this guy got a beard and everything. And he got strong, though. Yeah. He must do something, mate, do you know what I mean? But
yeah, I don't like the taste of sand now.
When your kids want to go to the beach, you're not right.
So did that mark a bit of a turning point then? Or did you kind of think, I'm not doing that again because I got in trouble? Or
no, see, it scared me. I was a weak kid. I was dead skinny. My dad used to call me sparrow legs. I was skinny. I was goofy. I was weak. I was very weak. But I say that now, But looking back on it, every time I never cried. When I used to get punched and hit, and one of the lads on as a welfare, they beat me up with a cricket bat. I never cried once. I just kept going back up. So longevity then to me fighting career. That's why I think I was so probably tough. And durable.
They fucking toughened you up, bro.
It conditioned you.
Never been knocked out.
Conditioned you. To pain. Like you probably
my dad hit me as a kid as well, and it was 80s.
Old fashioned.
It was different.
Slap, fucking shoes, belts, the lot. So
I think when I don't know how old you are. How old are you?
42.
Right, so you're a little bit.
He doesn't look it, does he?
Well, you don't, mate.
Cheers.
I remember when I first started school, they just stopped like caning and stuff like that, and they just stopped doing that. And people think that's like.
I can remember my dad telling me he used to get caned across his hands and that at school and that. So it's. I think sometimes whether you pass that on or you change the process, I've changed that process with my kids, but it's. But I was definitely conditioned. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But then I went to my uncle's house and went up to his bedroom, and he's got a gi karate suit up on the wall. And it was like I'd seen God. I was like, massive, it like lit up.
Like that's what I meant to do. That's what I meant for.
And this was like literally not long after the Lloyd Hunt incident. I was like, where did you do that? And it's like, oh, it's at Top Valley. I went, take me, please take me. Excuse me. And I said, just please take me. I says, and he did. So I clearly with my dad, they took me down, and it was like a duck to water. I double graded most gradings all the way through. I did competitions before even a yellow belt. I won the nationals, I think, within the first 18 months at RV Adams Stadium.
Wow.
I could do splits, ice kicks.
Wow.
But I made friends with the sensei's son, Tony Baker, Scott Baker, and my best mate, and he was a couple of years younger than me, like my younger brother, and was inseparable. And we used to, because it was traditional karate Wadaroo, we'd go to the competitions, and this team called the Red Dragons, they're all flamboyant spinning kicks and stuff. We want to do that shit. So we'd practice it on our own. We'd practice in his garage. We were literally training sometimes 7 days a week, just me and him. So we were like self-coaching ourselves, but looking at like reading fucking Jeet Kune Do's Bruce Lee's book and mechanism. We used to like soak his knuckles in surgical spirits to make his knuckles tougher.
Wow, man, that's dedication.
Yeah, because the only thing you wore back then was like a biker's glove, fingerless glove, and then like a thin slip-on sock. That was it, and that were I know it was like karate and it was point scoring. But we got to a point where we started getting disqualified continuously. So we were competing and we were just getting disqualified because we were hitting too hard because it meant to be points.
Oh, yeah.
But
like semi-contact. You were going fucking full contact. Not meant to knock him out. Fucking hell, Neil.
But we were doing did team events. Won shitloads of trophies. And me and Scott were just going around and travelling to competitions on his own. Sometimes no one even comes. Sometimes parents come, club come. But yeah, we represented the club well, and we started progressing. Got to my brown belt at like 18, so sort of 3 years. Then we found ice skating and girls.
Yeah. Sutton Ice Rink?
No, Nottingham.
I used to love Sutton.
So we started going there on a Friday instead of training. And then we had this competition, it was a team event, and Scott got disqualified, did this ug kick and broke this kid's jaw. And it just come, then our other member got a draw. So he'd come up to me, I was going on last on, he went, Neil says, please just take your time, we get this, we're actually going to make it, we're going to go through. And they went, as you mate, start the fight. The kid comes straight at me, just a massive roundhouse kick. But we used to curl his toes back, so he was hitting with the ball of your foot instead of the toes down and hitting with the top of the foot. Yeah. And I curled my toes back, and it literally spun him like a Jackie Chan film, 360, and he landed off the mat.
Fuck.
And he was crying his eyes out, and I just turned around to my mate and like shrugged my shoulders like, he's fucking like disqualified. Got up and all his cheekbone were caved in.
Jesus.
I had a massive dint. And then anyway, we got disqualified. Walking off, this big black guy come up to us and he says, we need to have a word with you, so you keep getting disqualified. Picked us for the England squad to go train at Crystal Palace for me and Scott. And we basically just fucked it off because we went, nah, fuck that, it's fucking ice skating on a Friday, chasing girls. And it's one of because we didn't have that, we just probably needed that bit more of an arm round us. Mm-hmm. And I've never had that really.
Bit more of a guidance.
We needed more guidance. It's one of my regrets, I think, definitely. But but it spiraled on to, I then trained with his other son at Huntley. I went back when I was 19 or 20, got my black belt, and then I opened my own karate club at 21. I was teaching
Did you?
kids at 21. Yeah.
Wow.
How long did you do that for then? Like, was you the sensei? Was you running it? Was you teaching people?
Yeah,
Did you have anyone alongside you then? You're like,
My mum and dad helped now. What's a my sensei would then come up and help and drop in. I was part of that organisation. I think we had about 45 kids on his books twice a week. But I was like, I was changing it slightly because it was traditional, but I was like I like the flicky stuff, more flamboyant.
that's what, because I did karate. Looking back, I don't even know how long I did it for. Probably about a year, probably not even that. Probably about 8 months. I can't remember, but anyway, I only progressed to like the yellow belt. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I remember doing all the sparring and everything, and winning the yin yang medal because he said to my mum a few times, "Your son has got the style, he's got the natural flair."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could literally, what's it called? That crescent kick when you do that and all the way around, like what? What's his name? He used to do it on all his films. Jean-Claude Van Damme. That's it.
Yeah.
He used to go like that, and then like hold his leg all the way, and he used to go on my tiptoe all the way around, like perfectly level. I used to be really good, but
You should have been a ballerina, mate.
that's it, yeah. But no, yeah, I fought the sensei's son. He was black belt, second dan, I think he was, and I was yellow belt. And like I say, he sent me contact sparring. He said, anyone want to do spar, with my lad? And no one else put their hands up, so I was like, fuck it, I'll give it a go. I won a yin yang, you say yin and yang or yin and yang?
Yin yang.
Yeah, gold necklace. I think my mum still got it somewhere. But yeah, and that's like you're talking about regrets, and I've always said shouldn't regret anything you've ever done in life because you learn from it.
Yeah.
But I wished looking back now, I'd have carried it on, man. Do you know what I mean? Because the amount of...
We need guidance, I think, sometimes it's... but you take your own path, and we always end up where we're meant to end up.
It's good to have a hobby, though, isn't it? And especially, like I said, like I said to you the other week, didn't I, to Steve Ward, I said, the thing is with fighters, people, they sort of get tired with that brush, like, oh shit, he's a fighter, oh, don't come near him. Like fucking... But like, most fighters, no matter what sort of fighting that you're doing, what style, whatever, you're just lovely people, and they're really disciplined people.
It's the discipline and the respect that I'm so... I sort of fell out of love with the karate when I found MMA, but then I've gone full circle with it because it made me realise I'd got the foundations. Because I got to 20, I was running the ultimate karate club, then I went to my brother-in-law's stag do, and I watched an MMA fight at Rock City, and that's when it was banned in the UK. So they'd hit it on a kickboxing event. Yeah. And it was like, these guys, fucking these bell guys come out, picking up, slamming him. I was like, what the fuck is that? I need to do that shit. I was like, I want to do that. So my brother-in-law was like, well, he's coming to the wedding reception. I'll hook you up with him. Yeah. It's like, right, yeah, brilliant. So I'm like second down fucking black belt karate. Hooks me up with this guy, fucking huge, full of gear. It's like, yeah, I'll take you, I'll meet you, I'll pick you up. So he picks me up, takes me to the club, walks me into this room. There's probably 5 guys there, all fucking big dudes. He's like, this is Neil, second hand black belt, reckons can kick fuck out a lot on you. That's how he introduced me.
Oh shit.
I got picked up, put on my arse, sat on him full man and pounded to fuck. So I was like, 10 years training's just gone clean out the window.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. Joe Rogan says a lot about, because MMA obviously stands for mixed martial arts, doesn't it? But people who go in there like with karate black belts and kung fu black belts, they don't do as good because it's the grapple, isn't it?
They are.
They obviously are.
Yeah, it's some of them. You've got to adapt. You've got to adapt. You've got to learn wrestling. Your jiu-jitsu side to it.
The jiu-jitsu. This is the main thing. Yeah, they always say you can't do that. You can't go straight into the MMA sort of UFC. And then without knowing.
There's some of them get found. I got found out. I got 10 years straight. Got chucked out the window in 2 seconds. But I was 70. I think I was 72. They were me and one of my long-term friends, Dean Rowley. He's done a lot of training with me. After he managed to fight again last year, and I managed to help coach him. And we went through as 2 young kids, 70 kg, training with guys that were 14 and a half, 16 and a half stone, 6 foot, 6'2", and we just got battered week in, week out. But I still kept going back, so I used to it. Fucking only getting punched in the face for that for the last 15 years. So it was nothing. But we used to spar with MMA gloves, 4-ounce gloves. His face were a mess week in, week out. It was proper old school Vanderlei Silva shoot box style sparring and training. like holes in mats, smashing his elbows on floor, injuries all the time.
Like Fight Club.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Every I think it was Monday we had sparring. You'd come out of that room like at a real fight. Wow. It were crazy.
How many times you had your nose broke? Not that you might turn around and say never. Why'd you ask?
Why would you say that? I don't think it's. I ain't got much cartilage in both.
Yeah, that's it though, isn't it? Like, what is a broken nose? At the end of the day, it could just be like your cartilage can smash, break.
Luckily, I'm trying to think if Rob put it back once or not. I think it weren't too much out of place. I've not had it bad. The actual scar. I fought a bare knuckle fight called Wayne O'Neill. So they brought a guy in for a title eliminator fight after the stabbing, which we'll get onto. And I fought a guy. He come in. It's unlicensed boxing, obviously. So we start the round. I'm moving, and every punch this guy is throwing, I'm thinking, that's fucking sharp. It's like I'm getting hit with a piece of wood in my face. So it gets to the end of round one, sits down, we've got a game plan anyway. So I sits down and says to my coach, I says, every time he hits me, it's like sharp, Rob. I says, there's something in his fucking glove. I'm telling you now, there's something in his glove, or he's got no padding in his gloves. So we're looking over and I look, and he's got the shittiest fucking gloves on, like from Sports Direct, fucking Lonsdale. I said, there's no fucking padding in them. And when he obviously fought for BK Bad as well, or he's fought bare knuckles. So we knew.
You knew a bit about it.
I knew. I'd done my own work on him. He says, just get your head moving then. So we start second round. Bell goes for second round. I walks out. First fucking 2 punches of throws, fucking left, straight, right, bang, straight on the nose. My nose just exploded. But it just split. There were no blood, just like I'd been it with baseball bat.
Yeah. Like the skin just split.
Because you could see everything through it. So I knew it had gone.
Shit.
So I thought, I've got about 60 seconds or ref's going to stop this.
Yeah.
So I dropped him with a body shot, and I went in and finished it off again by hitting with body shot. It sounded like a fucking shotgun going off because I was that mad. I just started folding him in half. But they basically, as soon Rob jumps in, announced the win. As soon as he got up, took his gloves off, chucked him to his corner man. His corner man literally run out at fucking, because I was fuming, and literally run out at fucking building. And we were like, I want them fucking gloves, bring them gloves on today. Look at the gloves.
Yeah.
Just fucked off with him.
So there was something dodgy with them.
Yeah, something dodgy.
Oh, Jesus.
Got a fucking metal plate in them or something. You know what I mean?
It weren't.
That's the thing. I bet you've come by a few little tricks like that, haven't you? Like dirty fucking.
Yeah, loads like the one I've just shared. The one with the recent one, Marcus, when he had the rematch with.
No, but I mean, like you must come across like the ways that people do it and things like that, because you don't really hear about it, do you?
Yeah, well, it happens. It's obviously happened in pro boxing.
Yeah.
It's happened in pro boxing as well. But you'd like to think it's.
So how old was you then? Was this
4 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, recent.
Shit.
Recent. Not too long ago. That was on obviously the comeback. So I started the MMA at 25. I was a little bit injury prone, but I was still playing football because I play football twice a week, Saturdays and Sundays.
What, always have?
Yeah, from age sort of 10. I've played. So my coach at the time was like, you need to pack up. I'll never forget. He says, you need to pack up playing football, because I'd got weak knees because it kicks. And sometimes I was centre mid as well, sometimes or right wing. So sometimes I'd go in and training on a Monday and I was fast. So I'd been kicked to bits on a Saturday and a Sunday. And my ankles were fucked, my knees were bruised, my legs were bruised. So you need to pack up football. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do. So I knocked Saturdays on the head, but I was still playing Sundays because obviously you're playing with your mates, aren't you? You just going to get pissed up after. So I think I twisted my knee or something. And he says, it's right, fucking pack up. Anyway, so I was into training on the Monday, and I told him I'd been jogging or something, and I'd slipped on the bank and twisted my knee. Ooh. Fucking Chad come out on Wednesday, I'd scored a hat-trick on Sunday. Just fucking chuck paper at me. So right, yeah, I'll back up now then. So I did stop. I just played in charity events each. We'll concentrate on the MMA. Did okay, hit and miss.
Yeah, how many fights did you have?
MMA only had, I think it was 12 or 13. Bit of a 50-50. There's not too much on YouTube because all my early fights when we were winning, they're all in nightclubs. So it was advertised as Vale Tudo in a boxing ring. It's 5-minute rounds, no rules.
Right.
Then Mark Goddard and a few others, I think, like the referee off UFC, they started to bring rules. They tried to bring an organisation and get rules for it. So I'd been fighting sort of pro realistically for a couple of years, 2-3 years. Then they brought the rules in, and then we had to turn amateur.
Oh shit!
So we're doing that. So we're doing these amateur tournaments at Villa Park, Walsall Football Stadium, and sort of doing really well. But my knee went again, all the cartilage went, cruciate ligament snapped, so that had gone. So that restricted me.
Do you have any operations or anything on your legs? Or?
Yeah, I've had all my knee rebuilt.
Yeah.
I've had everything, elbows. I had that redone. So my socket reshaped.
Shit.
I've got no bicep tendon snapped.
Jesus
I've got
Christ, man.
I fought a Lithuanian that were, I think, about 10 kg heavier than me. So I've got a plate, 6 pins in my collarbone, because he snapped my collarbone with a knee.
Jesus.
But still carried on.
Fucking bad. And there's me like, you know what? I don't think I've ever broke a bone, you know. I think I cracked a rib once, but they said, it's 4-hour wait for the x-ray, but there's nothing we can do for a cracked rib.
Right.
So I ended up going home, but I couldn't hardly move or breathe, you know what I mean, for ages.
Yeah, I've had a few of them.
Huh?
I've had a few of them.
Yeah, but they can't do nothing, can they?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, you've done your arm, you'll put it in a part cast or sling or whatever, your leg, same sort of thing. Put in your wheelchair, whatever you need be.
Yeah.
But, you know, ribs, what can they do for a rib, man?
Same as toes. I've probably broke every single toe and every metatarsal, top of my foot from kicking knees, kicking elbows, but I just strap them up and carry
Do you go
on.
for the head and you just go like that or something? You go bang! Oh,
Yeah.
fucking crack me foot.
So I've had it now. If I throw a kick wrong now, it just re-cracks and you hear it go, and then 2 days later my foot's black.
Oh, mate.
It's nasty.
Yeah.
Nasty.
So, you know, you're quite...
Perks of the sport.
Yeah, that's it.
You're quite... I was going to say fond of pain then, but that's not the that's not the
Prone,
way.
prone.
Yeah,
No.
prone. Yeah, you're quite
Definitely
prone.
prone to it.
Yeah, definitely prone to it, yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly picked some hazardous hobbies.
Yeah,
So-
well, that's I don't know, you sort of...
You sort of
it's like-
adapted, didn't you?
You adapt to it, but it's like the old saying, innit? You're strong when you've got no other...
Yeah.
When you've got to be strong. I don't know anything else. I genuinely don't.
Like you
Like
literally, all your life, that's all you've ever known.
I've had to be strong. I'd had to quit, but that's not in my nature. It weren't in my nature as a kid. That's one thing I can always pride myself on. I've never... there's something always... I've been, and trust me, I've been in the darkest of
Places like...
yeah, gee, ridiculous. But something always happens, and I somehow climb back out of it. And I've done it all myself. I've refused after the stabbing that. I tried counselling, tried absolutely everything.
So in regards to that, so when did that happen then? When was that?
So
Yeah, why did it happen? Like,
Just
what happened?
random night out. So I obviously did the MMA at 25. I think I was 30 years old, 31. Random night out. We'd cornered a lad fighting down in Nottingham Army Marina. Two other lads had a kid, so we decided to stay out and wet the baby's head around Nottingham. There were loads of groups of lads out that night. We ended up in Pandora's Box. And
Is that a club? Because that could also be a metaphor, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's actually a venue.
It's not an innuendo, right?
Yeah. It's not my ex. We ended up in this obviously night because we're all football players, used to go and stuff. So we come out. This guy had been threatening people in toilets. He's coked off his head, got a knife, been waving it around all night.
Well, did the security get him? He's not
No.
fucking bothered. People just walk past and go, dickhead.
Yeah. Come out, got in a taxi. Apparently I was quite loud, which I can imagine because I had a drink.
Had a few bevies.
So I was giving the taxi driver a bit of abuse. So apparently we got this. I only got told this, funnily enough, about 6 months back. I didn't know
so you
this
don't know
bit.
if this is true. This is what you've been told,
I
people.
didn't know this bit. I thought I'd got another version in my head, which I just thought I'm in a taxi waiting for and seeing this guy. They're all arguing outside the club. So I jumped out and I seen the lad I recognised. He weren't out with us. I said, just jump in here, come back to the hotel with me. I've got an hotel. There's no point getting in any trouble. Gets in taxi. It all kicks off again. They all run up, made Marion way. This lad jumps out. So I was that close to saying, just take me to the hotel.
Oh man.
And I didn't. Jumps out of the taxi, runs up, made Marion way, runs around the corner, it's fuck off standoff. The lad's there with a knife.
Well, how many are you guys?
I think
It's like a group of lads versus a group of lads. Like, come on then, wait.
two big groups.
Yeah.
Now the thing is now, I'm going to tell you my version, and there's like 2 or 3 other versions floating around. It's an odd one. It might cause controversy on Facebook, but I don't really give a fuck. I know what happened, and I know where I sort of felt, and I were in the middle of it. I resorted back to my karate training, dickhead here. I'd got these boots on from ENQUIRIES, like pirate boots, like they were fucking cowboy boots, no grip on them. It were icy. I tries to kick the knife out his hand, 360, spins up in it, lands on my arse, looks a right twat. And I just got jumped on by about 4 lads. So I grabbed the one that I thought had got the knife, takes him down. I'm still never going to know to this day if I'd got him and he was underneath me and sort of stabbing me from behind, or he was stood behind me and he was just sticking me with a knife as I were hitting him. So it was just a medley of a thing. But apparently the lads that were there, they're saying that they were pulling him off. As fast as they were pulling him off, they were jumping back on me.
Well, your mates were trying to pull them off you. Or is that what you mean?
So people I know.
Yeah.
Apparently so. I don't know if that's true. I'm quite good in situations where I know my surroundings and I'm aware of what's happening when it comes to fighting.
Yeah.
I felt like I was dealing with it on my own.
Yeah.
So I dealt with 2 because I dealt with him on the floor, got up, dealt with another one. But then I realised potentially the one on the floor had not got the knife because I felt my ribs moving. So the knife had gone in, punching my lung, and it vacuumed the knife into my ribs. So he was trying to get it out. So he was wrenching it up and down to pull it out. So I just shoved off. And as I shoved off, he pulled the knife out. And that was the last stab. That was the last one.
And all the others, like the other 8, did you know when that you were getting stabbed? Or was it just sort of, because when you're in that state, you know.
Thuds, just thuds.
But you knew one of them had a knife from the beginning.
Yeah. But I was dealing with 4 or 5 people hitting me, kicking me. My ribs were black and blue in hospital. I was getting booed. People were running up and booting me full pelt. I was halfway through the fight and I was wet. And all I can remember is thinking, I shouldn't be fucking sweating. I was fit then, not like that. I shouldn't be sweating yet. And then I clicked and my tab were on fire because it cut my ear off. And I got an hole in the top of my head. It stabbed me in the top of the head. What? Top of my shoulder, the holes in my back of my arm, my stomach, and then obviously the last one was in my side.
So he was literally just going
everywhere.
He could have got you in your eye, whatever, your heart.
Anyway,
it was
The first one was the top of my head. Then he slid it down through my ear. I'll show you the photos after. Oh, you've probably seen them on that video.
Yeah.
Over my shoulder, then the holes in my back, one at the back of my arm, and then the last one in my stomach. So I don't know how that one happened in my stomach. And then the last one obviously was in my side.
And that was the last one where was you still on the floor at that point?
I stood up.
You stood up with this knife, the 9th strike of a knife.
I only knew because I felt my ribs moving because he was trying to get it out. So
he's doing that. You're looking down like what?
Yeah. So I just shoved off, but I shoved him off. I literally run.
You shoved him at the same time, so it was your strength that sort of helped him pull his knife out.
I wish I should have left it in. I should have left it in.
And then what? They all just ran away.
I don't know. I couldn't.
You're just dispersed.
I pushed. I knew I'd got to go. I thought this is it. Shit. So I tried to run across the road, and I collapsed.
Where was these so-called lads you were with?
Well, one of them came. One was with me. And all I can remember is laying on my side, on the side. It was freezing cold. I was laying on my side. And there were these 2 women. It'll echo with me till my grave.
Oh, when a woman screams.
They're screaming. But I can't even imagine what that would look like. And they were screaming. And he's just going, phone an ambulance. And I'm just laid on my side. Just giving me goosebumps. And forever, my heartbeat had gone down to like boom, that slow. Shit. But each time it pumped, the blood pumped out of me. So I was even though I was cold, I was like, oh no, I quite like this. It's warm because all the blood was keeping me warm because it was freezing on the floor. But this puddle was just getting bigger and bigger. So anyway, the next thing passed out, and to this day, I've told this story to a few people in the last 6 months. I was on the top of the building, like a gargoyle, sat like curled up, looking down at myself.
Wow.
So I was like, what the fuck? Shit, I'm dead. That's it, I'm done. And then next thing, my face is getting hotter, getting like red hot. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? Comes round, ambulance driver, bang, belting me, slapping me around the face.
What?
Stay with me. Bang, belting me. Ah, fuck, what? Rolls me onto my side, went to cut my top, gets these scissors. Like, whoa, don't cut my top. It's fucking 150 quid.
Is that what you said?
Yeah. And he goes, when you see the back of it, mate, he said, I don't think you've got anything to worry about. Just literally cuts it. The lad that was there gets in the ambulance, and then he said, I'd never forget the look on his face. He was like seeing everything, and he was putting his hands, elbows, got this lad to put his hands on the holes.
Pressure. You need to apply pressure to any bleed.
And just shouted to the driver, go. And just get to Queens. So then 5.5 hours in theatre. Luckily,
what do you remember at that point? Do you remember the whole drive to the...
Yeah. Coming in, the doctors talking, all rushing around me.
What was you thinking? What was going through your mind as you were in this ambulance when these guys are putting pressure all over your body, cutting your top? Because obviously you must have been quite compass mentis when you went, hold on a minute, not my t-shirt, not my shirt, mate. 150 quid this for
just relaxed.
Like you weren't sure, like what was that? Did you believe you'll be all right? Like I'm in safe hands now. I feel safe.
No. I thought that was it.
And that bit. When you thought you some sort like you seen yourself looking down at yourself from that same building.
If you took me to the top of that, I've always said I'd love to go to the top of that, but I don't know which building it is. I could describe the top of that roof now to you, and I've said I'd draw it, and I'll tell you what's there, and then tap me up, and I'll be able to show you.
Should definitely go.
See, so obviously, when people say they've seen the light or they look down, they've seen themselves on the operating theatre before they die, and then they might get a whisper in their ear. They reckon it might be God or whoever saying, "Go back," or "You're not ready yet," or and people like they have these sort of experiences, and it changes people, doesn't it? They come back
Did that make you think differently about stuff? I mean, are you spiritual or are you like...
I used to be very superstitious. I used to believe in God. But we lost my nephew at age of 2. So my dad used to be, I think, big believer in the Bible and all that. But now he's not. He's full on it. Don't believe in it. I don't believe in it.
So agnostic as well, isn't it? It was where you don't know what to believe. But
there's something.
Atheist is
obviously... I did DMT recently, so there's definitely something.
You did what?
I did DMT recently.
Did you?
There's something definitely.
Did you?
Trust me, there's something there.
We'll talk about that after. We'll talk about that after the show, man.
Excellent.
So it changed me. It were hard 2 years. Insomnia, sleep, that couldn't sleep.
Was that how long it took to get back to normal, if you like, then 2 years? What did they say to you when you sort of came around? Did they say you'll be fine in a few months, or you'll be wheelchair? What was the?
Run us through what happened. The 5 hours in theatre, and then how you were in hospital for how long after? Or
1 week. I walked out.
And this is when, like we said at the start of the show, this is when the doctors and the medical experts said to you, your fighting career's over.
They couldn't believe the recovery. I was recovering literally by the hour. They were shocked.
So fast.
I called it like my little Vaxuva. I had a thing in to keep my lung inflated. So I've got another scar here where they had to put what they called? Like basically to keep me lung inflated. But then the other tube would then take in all the fluid out, all the blood and stuff, because obviously everything was all on my lung. So I'd had that in, so I had to carry that everyone around me for the first 3 days. Excuse me. The only pain I could feel in them first 3 days was this fucking thing stuck in my ribs, which were the thing keeping my lung inflated.
Even though I bet you were on some like fucking...
I was on morphine and everything. I was itching because I'd got my own morphine administrator. So I literally 2 minutes later, I'm like scratching, itching all over because I just administrated
too much.
That's right. Neil, you need to calm down on that morphine.
Calm down on what? What do you mean?
So when the nurse came, they finally took this out because they said like I should be able to sort of breathe myself, or still with the mask. They took it out. The second they took that tube out, all the other pain kicked in.
Oh,
and I was like,
so that was all overriding the other pain.
That because it was horrendous.
Yeah.
And then it all kicked in, and I laid there in tears, crying, just thinking, what the fuck's happened? But they hid me on a ward.
Did you run out of clicks?
They hid you.
Yeah, so I woke up with a police officer sat at the side of me. That was the first person I seen was a police officer.
How long was that after?
5.5 hours in theatre.
So after,
But they'd not, because they'd not caught him. So they didn't know what had happened. So they didn't know if he was going to come back and try and finish me off.
Oh, shit.
They didn't know what had happened.
There's no cameras on.
No. Well, this is the thing. So the CCTV, I'll say I'm not bothered now. Right? The CCTV apparently showing where we all run past the shops. But then miraculously, there's no CCTV of the incident in the main square bit. But he did a plea bargain and grassed a load of drug dealers up, and he got off, and he did about 18 months.
So they got him.
He got him, yeah, but didn't get him till the Monday. Still got the same clothes on, my blood all over him, and still got the knife on him.
What?
Or he tried to hide it down the drain or something.
Jesus.
Off his tits.
Well, I mean, I'm glad that he did because he got caught. But,
Yeah.
Even though he got 18 months, I mean, that's just.
But he said there were other people, the others had knives, and he didn't do all of them, and he only admitted to doing two of the wounds, I think.
The others had knives. Who were they? I don't even know. I don't know who they were. They all had black hoodies on.
They'd already said that all the wounds had been done by the same instrument.
Yeah.
Never even went to court.
You know, people fall over and bang their head on a curb and die. You got stabbed.
The same judge on the same. So I looked on the list on the same day of the court. A neighbour had an altercation with his neighbour, leant over the fence and stabbed his neighbour once in the chest. He got 9 years, and he were alive. Got 9 years. Then my case was next, and he gave him 3 years, and he was out after 18 months on good behaviour.
What, the guy that stabbed you, he did 18 months.
His parole officer were messaging. We had to put a stop to it. His parole officer were sending us messages and contact letters and stuff, telling us how well he was doing fucking side. So my ex-wife said, look, you need to fucking stop this.
How well he was doing.
How well he was doing inside.
He's having a good time.
Because they're saying, he's a reformed character now. He's not a fighter now. Just so you know, justice has been served. He is not this sort of person anymore. Like trying to let you know, like you really give a shit, mate.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking hell, man. That is that. So, do you know for a fact that's what he did with the police? He helped them get other people.
Did a plea bargain. So to me,
they openly told you that?
Yeah. CID come around, told me, did a plea bargain. It's not going to court.
And he didn't tell you any more details, like who, what, where, what. You know what I mean?
No. And then literally, I think it was so many months later, there were a massive thing on Evening Post, massive drugs busted knots.
Oh, so he probably took down one of the kingpins, or.
Well, I'd like to think though, because he did that, then something's going to happen.
Karma.
Yeah, exactly, mate. I don't believe in a lot of things in this world. Like I can't see and feel and touch, but there's a balance, isn't there?
100%. And I know that as well through how I've lived my life and the mistakes I've made, and also then what I've also achieved. But things happen for a reason. If you gave me the choice of that happening again, I'd snap my arm off tomorrow because it changed me for the better in a lot of ways. Would I want to go through the mental side to it? I'd probably question that because I still struggle with some of the stuff, but I've got stuff in place which I can tell when I'm slipping. But some days, like anyone, we feel down, we feel shit.
We're only human.
So, but I'm in control of it a lot better than what I used to be. And then 2 years later, I went through that. I self-destructed, drinking every night, put weight on, eating, tried to do a bit of training, but it would not to what I was used to, restricted. The weight obviously then restricted what I could do as well with the breathing. So every time I swallowed, I could feel like I got a piece of apple stuck in my lung. If I got out of breath, it was like I was having an asthma attack. I was constantly wheezing, which I still get now. If my lung restricts, you can hear it. I wheeze. But then a couple of years later, a friend from school, primary school and secondary school, he lived on my street, funny enough, at Kirby. We're on his way to work, got hit by a train, died on his way to work.
No way.
So at the funeral,
pissed
up. Because I knew his wife also went to school with her. I says, look, I'll fight again, and whatever money I raise, because she wouldn't lose the house or think or something. I can't remember what was said. They needed some money for something. I says, well, I'll fight again, because we all went back to their house, and I'll give you money. So I woke up the next day.
Right, oh shit, what did I say last night? What did I say? How many drinks did I have last night? Wow, what did you say?
I was 16.5 stone. So I thought, fuck. But I thought, there's no way I can do MMA again. So I thought, I'll box. Because I've always liked boxing. So I got in touch with the local, the one I found. I'd heard loads of good reviews on Richard Weldon from Empire Boxing. Messaged him, he said, come up, let's have a look. So I went up, spoke to him. He says, I already spoke to this promoter and I took a fight within 9 weeks.
Jesus.
Oh.
So he come up, he was like...
So what's that? Was that 9 weeks of training then?
9 weeks. So I'd not done anything really for 2 years.
And
you'd not really done boxing, I suppose, had you?
I always liked striking though.
Right.
I don't know.
Something about strike.
I'd boxed at peak and stuff, and it's not... But I'd never done it properly or been coached properly. Yeah. But I just felt same with the boxing. I like it, and I felt like I could strike. I like to hit with my hands. So he was up and he says we've got a fucking lot of work to do. He says, how long
he just looked at you, mate. You've got 2 years off, mate. We've got a lot of work to do here. When's the fight? 9 weeks. Fucking hell, we got a lot of work.
So we did the 9 weeks. I lost 3.5 stone in 9 weeks.
Shit.
And I fought.
It's like the strict clean diets as well as training. Because they say abs are created in the kitchen, man. You know what I mean?
100%. Because they're fucking not created in the kitchen at a minute. Well, I mean,
but you know what I mean though? Like people say, I'll just train.
Yeah.
I go twice a day. Yeah, but how's your diet, mate?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So, yeah,
that's 80% of you.
Yeah, I started running. The first run I did, I literally got from my house to the top of the street, stopped, run from that to the bottom of 5 Pits Trail because I was living at Pilsley with the ex-wife. Stopped again, run up the trail, stopped, and I thought, I can't do this, fucker, I'm walking on. And I walked back home, I'd done 1.2 mile. That was it. I was like, shit. The next day, got up, took one of the stops out. The third day, got up, took 2 of the stops out. Fourth day, went further. 5th day, eliminated it. Now I was running. Got back to running 3 miles. By the end of the 9 weeks, I was running 4.5, 5 mile, fit, strong, sprinting.
Did you have any sort of, I don't know, like any moments where you thought, fuck, or like, did you?
Every day.
Like, could you feel your body, like you said, with the problem with your lung?
Couldn't breathe. Yeah, couldn't breathe. But I'd looked on YouTube and I'd looked at expand your lung capacity with breathing techniques.
Yes. My mate sent a few of them, didn't he?
So I started doing that, holding my breath underwater every time I had a bath, and just literally forced it myself. So just
increasing your lung capacity.
How did the fight go?
Won on points, but it was shit. It was dog shit. They brought this tubby guy in, and it should have been an easy win because obviously I'd had 2 years off and stuff. But I went the distance and won on points, but it was hard. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It was just
a bit of a struggle, but he's like you say, you still won.
But I look back at that fight, that was the turning point as well, because it was a matter of getting through that fight. It was just the second that bell went in the third fight. I think there's a photo of me. I sort of fell into my mate's arms, who was in the corner. I just burst out crying because it was the achievement of doing it.
Yeah, when you were told you would not ever be able to do that.
Yeah, I could have got knocked out in the third round. I think I'd have had the same reaction.
Yeah.
But the fact I got through it and then won, but I'd sold shitloads of tickets. So then the promoter on me, when are you going to fight again? I was like, right.
No pressure.
Yeah, so I thought, and it's like, yeah, so it went on. I got the British, got the Commonwealth, started collecting these belts. They brought this, then the standards started to get harder. They brought this guy over from Ireland, from Derry, tattooed all down one side of his body. He's fucking 6'1". Fucking stopped. I literally bullied him in the second round. He refused to come out for third.
Really?
So then then I knew the standard had changed. Yeah. I knew I'd stepped it up.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, let's see how far we can go with this.
Wow.
So you just mentally challenge yourself all the time, and you would just overcome like any challenge in your way, wouldn't you?
I wanted to fail. I genuinely wanted to fail. But after one of the things I did in them 2 years when I was sort of depressed and I got insomnia, I wrote in the book, similar to this one, every night. So I used to wake up at 3:08. That's what time I got stabbed. So that's why I got it tattooed on my hand.
And you used to wake up at 3:08?
Every morning for 18 months.
And you literally open your eyes, look at the clock, it'd be 3:08.
Yeah, go downstairs, sit downstairs, and I'd write in this book. I can't read this book. I gave it one of my friends. He did one of the videos for me on YouTube, and it's got some of the quotes out of this book. But I can remember asking myself questions. Some of the stuff in this fucked up because I was in a very, very dark place, like suicidal thoughts and stuff, and I wrote it all down. But then I'd ask myself questions, but then also answer them. So some of the questions were, will you fight again? Yes, I will. But I always missed out on the MMA. I always missed out. I had a title eliminator fight against Lee Kuhn. I didn't show up, and I got choked out in the first round. I showed him too much respect.
What do you mean you didn't show up?
It's just weird. Sometimes in the fight game, no matter what you do, you can't help what happens or how you feel. Something's not right. And you know it in the changing room.
So when you say you didn't show up, as in...
I didn't show up as in me.
Yeah.
It was the fire.
Yeah.
I didn't show... I shown up. I was there.
That's what I mean.
You attended.
I was there. I was in the cage.
You just weren't up to your game that night.
So I was nervous because it was title eliminator. I was
you
smiling
just weren't feeling
at him.
it, man.
Just something weren't there.
You just, in your head, you'd already lost. Is that... You didn't go in thinking...
I'd already lost.
but you didn't go in thinking, I'm going to win this. Or...
Yeah, something weren't right. Something I need to see. That one niggle me because that was one of my very, very last.
Do you think that happens to a lot of fighters?
Every fighter. Every fighter. 100%.
Yeah.
And everyone, any fighter you speak to will tell you the same.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just something you can't explain.
Yeah,
it's weird.
something's not right. Don't feel right.
Yeah. But,
and you got choked out.
Yeah. Just got caught with a right hand, dropped me. I butt scooted to the back of the cage. I think I was in rear naked choke for like 1 minute. 1 minute, 13 to 14 seconds. Even the commentator says when I come get out of it, and I finally tap, and he was like, Neil's got nothing to be ashamed of there. I was in it for like over a minute. It takes 5 seconds to choke someone out. I was in it for 1 minute 13.
Jesus Christ.
My fucking head's purple and I'm still trying to punch him in the face.
I'm surprised with a fucking neck like that, bro. Do you know what I mean?
17 and a half inch.
Jesus Christ, mate. Do you know what I mean? That's why he's probably like, where the fuck is this your fucking head? Where's your chest or what, mate? The fucking... Yeah, but like you said, like even the ref said to you, this shouldn't,
The commentators, it's on you. They just say this got idiot. Because I was distraught. I just sat there with my head in my hands, and like, he's got nothing to be ashamed of, which is fine. But I didn't show up. If I'd shown up, it wouldn't have been. I felt that I was a lot better than him.
So what happened after that? Did you spiral downwards again, or was you sort of? Did you think no?
The stabbing happened after that, so that was the end of that.
That was
right. So that happened in that period after that, the Lee Coon. So that's why I never went back to.
Yeah, that's what I thought. What about the choking out? I thought you were boxing, mate.
Yeah. So that was when I come back and boxed.
Yeah.
So yeah, then that sparred on. Rich he's an amateur and has a pro coach for Alice Machin, so he couldn't carry on cornering me because it was classed as unlicensed. So Rob Watson he was part of the sort of team anyway. So he come in, he took over the reins, and that's the bit then where we're going to go back to the karate because I was sort of tucked up, walking forward. I'm tough, durable, but I just wanted to get a bit more back to my movement a bit. And what I'd realised was the foundations of the karate had then gone full circle because I realised it gave me like the opportunity to sort of do what I felt what I needed to do. But I understood then the martial arts aspect, teaches respect, discipline, and start again. And yeah, we started moving a bit more, a little bit looser.
Did you think that always played a part in your head when obviously the doctors turned around to you and said, you can't be fighting again? Never mind training. Do you know what I mean?
I didn't believe him.
You just didn't believe him?
Just thought I'd prove you wrong.
Was that always in your head though, every time you're progressing back into it?
Just with the writing in the book, because I'd wrote everything in this book and it's...
Why can't you read the other book? Is it just too...
I don't know. I think I need to. I think I'm probably ready.
When you say it's like a book, it's sort of like your own therapy. You've sort of counselled yourself, haven't you, there?
100%. I literally coached myself out of that hole. Because they sent me to Let's Talk. I got sat down with these fucking counsellors. One looked like fucking Mrs. Dartfire. I felt like I was honest. I was honest about drugs, what I'd done in the past, everything. And I felt like they were judging me. Yeah, so I felt then straight away, then I clamped up and I couldn't talk about what was going off in my head. So that didn't work. The doctors, all they wanted to do were offer you antidepressants.
Drugs.
Never touched
I just want to hand you pills out, mate.
Never touched one in my whole life and never will. No. Never touch it. I've seen friends that's been on them and it just nullifies them. They've got no feet. Yeah, no emotions, feelings, and I don't want to like that. So I refused all that.
But they're happy. That's it. Do you know what I mean? But I'm not saying they shouldn't be even invented. You know what I mean? They do help people.
I think it works for people. It works for certain people. I've not got that mindset. I've not got that give up.
But like
for
they
me,
say,
I'd
training.
have to accept to give up, to take that tablet. I'd feel like I've gave up.
Right.
But like I said before, with the doctors prescribing gym memberships for people with depression and things like that, I did definitely, when you get the natural endorphins.
Best ideas ever.
Yeah, when you get your natural endorphins, you know what I mean? Your serotonin, and you just feel amazing. Like you walk out of the gym, you're like, I feel fucking great, man. Yeah. Like I get depressed if I don't go to the gym for a week. I don't train for a week, man. Like all this lockdown shit, mate. Like Like, that's why I just look at my kitchen floor and just drop and do fucking 50 press-ups. And then you wake up and like, fucking, and then, you know what I mean? I pick up my one dumbbell and I'm like banging it around the kitchen doing whatever I can do with it. But like, even just half an hour in my kitchen, man, it's like, you feel loads better. You just got to get that blood. 100%. Your endorphins, like, they say your endorphins kicking after 10 minutes of training and all that. So like, I can see why, you know, you thought, no, don't want to start being that pill popper, taking antidepressants and stuff like that. So
I think it would have just added to the drinking and the eating and everything else. I don't know where I'd be now.
So did that get you training more and more, like every day? Or?
Yeah, well, obviously I'll back fighting, but leading up to that anyway, I'd started listening to like motivational stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I'm addicted to it. I've got so many links and stuff. And
you will be a winner.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's like everything I've got stuff like I write down in that. It's if I hear something or I'll create something in my own mind, talking to the lads, stuff, my experiences, talking to the lads and coaching my lads because I want to make them believe in themselves.
Yes.
Because I never had no one tell me.
No self-belief.
Like. So I've the only thing I ever had was the self-belief. I had people around me up until the point like Rob took me on and stuff, but it was like self-driven. I only feel like I've probably been guided this last 5 years, and I've had the right people around me where I genuinely feel like unstoppable, like I'd fight anybody, and I always had that mentality anyway.
But you really believed
it
yourself.
Oh, my last two fights, I had a broken hand. I hit a broken hand.
What?
I couldn't even extend. So the operation on my elbow, my arm was nearly 90 degrees. I couldn't even extend it because of the cartilage and all the bone and the arthritis. But I still fought main event Motorpoint Arena against Luke Atkins, which were a 2-weight world champion. BK Bad never lost, knocks everyone out in 3 rounds, and I went up 2 weight classes to fight him.
Fucking what?
And I beat him.
You beat him?
I beat him.
With a broken fucking...
With a broken hand and not even a fucking half straight arm.
I think it's safe to say you're probably born a fighter then. Where all those years, you can thank those bullies. You can look at those bullies and go, you know what, actually,
thank
you. Funny enough, someone brought it up last week, and this is he won. I said, I fucking would. If I seen him who stabbed me now, I'd probably just shake his hand. Wouldn't buy him a drink. Because I don't know where I'd be if that hadn't happened.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have the gym. I wouldn't be changing other people's lives on a daily basis.
Well, just in regards to the gym then, so when did that happen? What made you do that? Because how long have you had that for? I see for about 5 years?
5 years. Well, right. I worked for a mobility company, Slam Mobility Scooters, believe it or not, stairlifts. But I loved it because I've got loads of time for people. And I love old people. And I loved it. But I'm making this company fucking 20, 30, 40 grand a month, some months.
Wow.
And I was like the manager and I was doing all the sales. So then when that happened that period when I got stabbed, and I said to my ex-wife when we went on holiday after, I says, I need to do this myself. She said, well, do it then. So I set my own mobility shop up, made ridiculous money in the first 6 months because it was in the local village, local town where I am. So everyone sort of trusted me, everyone come to me. But I was sat behind a desk, betting online, going to the fucking bacon cob every morning, going to nag on my dinner for fucking 2-3 pint. And I was 16.5 stone within fucking a matter of months. So I was depressed. So then when it got to this, I started fighting again. I was taking a few lads on pads and they were like, oh, can you come and take me on pads? I was like, yeah, I was charging me £10 an hour. So I was leaving my shop, locking my shop up, or I sat a girl on that were nicking off me for a bit. So I set her on. So like, just to go and, it weren't about the tenner. I felt that I'd got some sort of significance by coaching and I loved it. So in the end I just shut the shop down, took the lunch. Rich said, why don't you come rent a room off me at Kirkby? I had the top room, he had it all downstairs.
That's what I mean, money isn't everything. You think, as long as you've got enough to get by, you know what I mean, your happiness is everything, mate, and you weren't happy. I mean, you might
and I'd tell that anyone.
Yeah, exactly, mate. And you weren't, like you say, you weren't fit as obviously you could have been, and you were just sat there eating these bacon cobs and drinking and betting and making a lot of money. So fucking what? You know what I mean? Where's your mental health going?
Where's your passion going?
It's gone. I'd got no passion, but the second I started doing them pads, I was like, this is what I'm meant to do. It's just something like telling me this is what you're meant to do. So then obviously with the fighting as well, the fighting started like to gain momentum, and I was training with like sort of Paul Daly down at some like. Is
this when you were training people?
Yeah, coaching because I was still fighting as well. Then I started. Rich just loved this room, so I started doing a couple of classes a week. People got wind of it, and there was like there's like people just turning up at the gym wanting me to coach them. So I was like, right, I need somewhere bigger. But then Rich moved out, so I took the gamble, shut my shop down, took the whole gym on.
Wow.
And this is where we are now. But listen, honestly, I've had weeks, months where I've had nothing. Like I didn't celebrate my 40th birthday because I put a show on. Cause I do shows now, 4 shows a year.
And some of the big like K1 boxing.
Yeah,
MMA.
His last show at South Forest, we'd sold 936 tickets.
Yeah, that's the one I went to.
Did you go to it?
Yeah, I went to see my mate Ben Goddard, and then
his fight pulled out.
Yes,
I
mate.
had 13 pullouts in 2 days.
Yeah, his fight pulled out. And then he said, he come back a bit later. I went, you what, mate? He's paid £25 for this ticket, bro. And I was like, off cut, like, come on, it's fine. And anyway, he come back, he went, someone else is going to fight me. Sam, mate, someone else. Sam, Ben, yeah, come on, Ben. And then he come back off an hour later, he went, he's pulled out now.
Yeah.
Fucking what?
Yeah, I love Ben. He's fucking tough as fuck. I love sparring Ben. He's mint.
Yeah. You know, we always send each other funny jokes and that on WhatsApp, me and Ben, like, but.
Yeah, good guy, Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we do the shows. So that was me, a bit of a extra money. The gym sort of take off, but like I said, I did a show, I think it was 2 weeks before the semi-final at World Cup. Obviously, you never expect England to get through to the semi-final. They fucking got through to the semi-final. So I had to refund. I'd only sold 113 tickets, but I'm not that way inclined. I could have just like said, oh, I'll carry them on to next show like other people I know from other gyms have done. But I didn't refund everyone the money, 30, 40 quid a ticket, and that would be money to celebrate my 40th.
Oh,
so, and I'd still have to fork out for the show and everything. So I went on holiday like watching what I was buying and everything was shit. So I never celebrated my 40th.
I'm sure you celebrated it after since maybe.
Yeah. Probably some nights. But yeah, so the shows are good. The gym's busy now. I've got a good rep, obviously.
It's Revolution Gym. For people, we haven't really said the name of it. It's on your top
Revolution Gym, Redcliffe Street, 25-27 Redcliffe Street, Sun in Ashfield, opposite Sun or 2 Factors.
Awesome.
Got a good following. Get Revolution up on Facebook.
Where can people find you? That's what we normally do.
Social media.
Every fucking way. It's hard to keep up with it though, isn't it? You know what I mean? There's that many now, isn't there?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Neil Huntley on that or Revolution Gym on my Facebook pages. Everything's on there.
Do you think that you've been like compelled to like coach and start gym because you never had that guidance?
I want to give the fighters and the people who just train as well. The one thing I've got in my gym is something I'm proud of, and I've been proud of it since I started. Is there's no one's judged. That's definitely for certain. And there's no like you put your bags over there, you put your bags over there. There's no divide. Everybody gets on. Everyone's dead friendly. The top fighters will make newcomers dead welcome.
Yeah, it's none of that where you look down and you're like, look at him, he can't even fucking punch, mate. And start laughing.
There's none of that.
All that bullying and picking. Oh, mate.
And I was in a gym for 10 years when that happened.
It's not like Cobra Kai.
Yeah, I've seen it happen, mate. Like I say, I've seen it happen.
It's horrible. It's not nice. And we've got an unbelievable set of guys.
Like a bond, isn't it? Like you get this, like it's like a family, isn't it? You sort of
100%.
You're all bond and you're all.
But I've got a massive responsibility for it because it's I don't want them feeling what I went through. So it's sort of like a father figure or however you want to put it. I'm like the coach, the fucking counsellor, everything.
Come to me if you've got a problem. There's nothing you're going to be thinking that I ain't thought myself and I've been through. You know what I mean? So you've literally probably been through it all.
But like you said earlier, when you went to talk to people and get help, and they were like almost turning their nose up at you, because you've been through so much stuff and you've experienced this, and you've been punched and this and whatever, you've all these horrible things that you've been through, and you've just steam trained through the whole thing. You're the perfect person for these people to come to and talk to, because you can offer actual real advice. And
I've said I'm an open door always for that. But like I said, I do slip. I slipped. I think the day before Christmas Eve, I had a meeting last Christmas in Paris to bring over this Senegal fighter from Africa for the show in Mansfield, and he come.
Wow.
He was 36 stone, I think he was. Fucking huge, this guy was.
Sorry, 36 stone?
What the fuck?
Is that possible?
Yeah, he's fucking massive.
And he's what? He's a fighter?
He was like this African wrestler.
Jesus,
so I brought him over.
And you have to buy him like 4 seats on the plane.
well, I had the meeting with his manager. It's still ongoing a bit. That was fucking hell. So I got fucking flew out to Paris one day, there and back same day. It was mint. But the day before I'd slipped. Mental health. I don't know what what had gone off, and obviously it was still stuff going through with it, sort of ex-partners and bits and bobs. My head just exploded. I don't know what was up with me.
Life got in the way.
Yeah.
So yeah, your focus just went.
And I was literally wrapping presents in the pitch black, thinking, that's it, I just want to hang myself. And I didn't want to be here. But the thing what them 2 days taught me, I got up the next day, drove to Birmingham Airport, got on a plane, got off the plane in Paris. This bloke picked me up who only picks up famous people on his moped. The last person he had on his moped was Zinedine Zidane.
Wow.
So he gets me on his Mecca, he goes, you like to go fast, puts this fucking headset on me, sits in the back, zips me in this fucking Caterpillar like sleeping bag. Vroom, it's gone. Fucking darting through all the... So I'm sat at the back of this thing with my hands in this muff thing.
In France?
In France, Paris. Heading towards that big arch thing on the middle of the roundabout.
Arc de Triomphe.
Just dodging through traffic, and I'm thinking, literally 12 hours ago, I wanted to hang myself. 12 hours later,
now I feel alive.
I had this euphoria feeling of nothing had mattered. It literally, everything just left my body, and I was like, winds like hitting helmets. Like he's talking to me, music's pounding in my other ear on this microphone. I'm just thinking, life's all right. He pulls up at this fucking hotel, swanky hotel, fucking 5-6 star hotel. Next thing is we're ripping fucking sandwiches in half, lobster sandwiches. With this guy who's a manager.
No snails in our frog legs.
Fucking honestly, and I just thought, I'm sat there, I've got like this fucking tight t-shirt and fucking jeans, and everyone's walking around, they're like in the proper suits and boots, and the women are all in dresses, swanky hotel, and I'm sat there thinking, I'm from Kirby Nashville.
Everyone else has obviously come all over the world, taking the missus.
I bet they're all sat wanting to be dressed like you though.
Yeah.
They're like, oh bastard, I wish I
was like, he's ripping these sandwiches, sharing the food, and I sat there drinking fucking wine, and then 3 hours later I'm back on a plane back to England, done deal. 8 weeks later I've brought a fighter over from Senegal.
Wow.
Two fighters.
Good English,
France.
like.
Yeah.
You got on, sound.
Yeah.
Who did he fight then?
He fought. Oh God, he's just won heavyweight belt.
So when was the fight?
Last February. It was the last show, 29th of February last year.
Yeah.
Well, this year, sorry.
Oh, this year, yeah.
This year.
Wow.
So just, you know, we've got into a bit of a habit of asking people, how's this year been then for you in regards to stuff? I guess you've had to shut down and been pretty tough.
It's cost me nearly 40 grand. So I'd have done 4 shows this year, and we'd just got somewhere. I'd built up. We were doing like shows at Civic Centre, Mansfield Rugby Club, and they were getting bigger. So we went to South Forest.
I know, like all the hype, like you say. Even I was getting into it, man. I think I went to 3.
Mansfield's not seen anything, no shows like what I put on.
Yeah.
I'd like that show cost me nearly 13 grand. But I'd brought fighters in from Africa, France. I go all out on the production. I pay the fighters as well. A lot of promoters don't pay the fighters, or they pay them not a lot.
Right, so it's not all about the money. It's all about.
I was used as a cash cow, so I don't want fighters feeling our half out, and I also missed out on big opportunities. I've got contacts to, if my lads are going to make it big, I'll pass them on. I'll let them go. I'll not keep them in my pocket. I've been kept in someone's pocket, and I was used as a cash cow. So I don't
let them go. Let them have their career.
100%. And if I can help in any way, I will. I still achieve what I sort of set out to. The questions I asked myself in that book and I answered, everything I wrote in that book while I was depressed has come true. What I wanted to happen. I didn't know about the thing, but like with the secret manifestation and like everything. Visualization, all that. 100% that is true. If anybody wants to say like they don't believe it, I'm living proof of it, because everything I wrote in that book has come true. The gym, my fights, fighting at an arena, main event, winning. Wow. I wrote a paragraph about a visualization I used to be mad on Randy Orton, so holding the belt up above his head. So that's what I've got on my phone.
What is it like on your home screen or something?
So that's the picture.
Sweet.
Let me just chuck that to the camera there so the camera can see that there. Check that. Can you see that?
Now what's weird?
Yeah, it's holding it up, look.
Now what's weird with that photo is I visualised that exact image of me holding that belt up, the way I'm holding it, at that angle, that photo, and wrote it down in the book. That photo was took by one of my mates in the crowd, And he printed that off, put it on a canvas, and gave it me for my birthday that year.
I bet that blew your mind when he gave you that, didn't it?
And as I ripped it open and looked at it, I was like, what the fuck?
How is that possible?
Took me, So I visualised that.
You didn't talk about what you put in the book initially, like.
Did you tell him why you reacted like you did? Did you explain?
No, he knew it meant a lot to me.
That's what I mean.
It's up in the gym now. It's in the main room. That's why it's in the main room.
Yeah.
But yeah, he took that photo out the crowd. There's all professional photographers there. There's a black and white one. He's one below me, so it's still the same photo, but not the. That's the photo. Right. And my mate took that in the crowd. Wow. So it's. But yeah.
I mean, do you think it's crazy that someone who's been sort of and essentially, like you say, beat up, used and abused, fucking. Just messed about all his life has turned into such someone who's so well-rounded and such a positive force. Do you know what I mean? All that bad shit has turned you into someone.
We're in control of. I'm in control of how I feel. Yeah. I'm in control of how I act. I can't let it. It's took control of me before, and I won't let it happen again.
No.
I'm a good dad. I look after my kids, and I try and do everything I can positively every day. Get up, but first thing to do is make my bed. That old motivational thing.
That's what I say to people.
Make your bed.
Make your bed. Draw your curtains. Go downstairs.
First achievement you've done of the day.
Yeah. Put your socks on.
And then when you come, when you're knackered at the end of the day and you go to bed, it's all nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for every punch I've took in the face and everything. I've got to be grateful every single day I wake up. We've got to be, haven't we? Yeah. We're still here.
We all should, definitely. But I mean, maybe you should even more so, seeing as, like you say, everything that you've been through, definitely. But wow.
That is mad though, isn't it? Like the shit that you've been through, bro.
What's next then? What's left in that book? What's in that book that hasn't come true yet? What's left?
I've got to read it.
I can't tell you. I'd have to kill you.
I think my daughter said something. My daughter moved. She's split with her boyfriend last Christmas, and she's moved in with me now. She's 21, and it was hard. And I've been through a lot of shit this year as well. A lot of shit. And she says, "Dad, I just want to see you happy." And for your daughter to say that.
Like, I was like, makes your heart melt, doesn't it?
Yeah, because I have to put I have to put a suit on every day. I have to get, no matter what.
Your suit of armour.
I've got to put the Neil suit on.
Yeah.
But when I wake up, I've got my kids, I've got to put Dad's suit on.
That's it.
I've got to put the coach suit on. And some days
that's a good way to think of it, though, isn't it? It's go through life, and if you really say it mentally out loud in your head.
Yeah. And sometimes you've got to sit back and I will ask myself, who am I? Because I ain't got a fucking clue some days. Because
I do, mate. I do.
But that's also life, and I think that's why we've got to get up. We've got to keep working hard. I work on myself every day. I've started training again. I had 2 years off training, not training properly. I've been Sean, my sports massage guy. He's been a lifesaver. He helped me get back training. We did some weights, 11 weeks after the last lockdown. Then we've had a break, a couple of weeks of break, and then we've started rowing and skiing. I've done a bit more cardio this last sort of 5-6 weeks. I've not really done anything, sort of bitting and bobbing. Rob Watson, my coach, he comes up and we'll do pads once and again, and he'll come with lifts, do a bit of deadlifting, a bit of weights. But I've not done anything sort of continuous since 2018. But I felt after I retired, I lost all significance. So to then stop fighting, it was like, well, what now? But I think all fighters, if you get me a pair of gloves and we get me now, fucking, I'll be in straight away. I love it. I love it, and I miss it so much.
It's ingrained into you.
I don't know anything. I don't know anything else.
But now you're coaching people in their careers now. You're passing down what you've learned. And that, it's not wasted, is it? It's not. And you're still in the ring, and you're still around in that world, aren't you? So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very grateful every morning I wake up because I'm living my passion, I'm living my dream, and 110% I'm living in my vision that I wrote down 10 years ago.
Wow.
So it's to do that on a daily basis, even with the lockdown, everything that's gone off, it's still there. I'm lucky I live above the gym. That's sort of helped.
That's fucking lucky, man. Next lockdown, I'm moving in, bro. You know what I mean?
We've all been like at home and that. You're
in my bubble, bro.
I'm
just going to his house, not his house.
How many people message you, bro? Can I be in your bubble? I need to be in your bubble. Ding, ding, ding on your phone.
So what's this diary all about?
This is just this one is so. This has been a new one. It's this got all my kids in.
And you carry this around with you every day?
Yeah. So if something sinks in, I'll write it down. So say silly stuff like what lights your fire, like feed your flame, laughter, your smile, be you. Your life, your happiness, your responsibility. Be consistent. Do not replace your happiness or the responsibility on anybody else other than yourself. Focus on who we are and not who we are not. The struggles you receive today is who you will become tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's just shit like that. And
I like that last one.
Yeah, but you know what?
That last one feels quite like that's come from a personal place for you.
Yeah,
Definitely, hasn't it? That last one. Definitely.
But like they say, don't they, to make something really sink in, write it down. And as you're writing it, it's something, it does something, doesn't it? It's sinking in it, that deep place in your brain.
See, I do it.
It's my turning point, my mum's cooking pot. Sorry, my turning point, my mum's cooking pot.
Wow.
But your mum will make you dinner here, and you go, hold on a minute, I need to write this down.
I believe they call that a fuck.
Remind me not to let my mum make a stew again.
They call that a fuck you moment. That's the fuck, like, fuck this. That's a fuck this moment, definitely.
Yeah. But there's like this silly stuff.
Yeah, but it's good though, man.
Yeah,
do you ever tell people to do what you're doing with the
recently, a little bit more recent.
You say, why don't you try doing a diary like me? And people, I bet people go, you're fucking what?
I can't read my writing.
I'm a man. Why do I write a diary? I'm not writing Dear Diary.
It's only like 10 seconds. It's only like one sentence.
I can read that upside down, mate. I can't even read my writing the right way around. I've got capital letters in the middle and stuff.
It's
and
fucking
I join
awful,
a bit of
mate.
it up and not the other. And
He's used to typing, you see.
Yeah, but I used to be scared of so many things. Like I used to be superstitious. I used to have to come out to the same fight song. I used to have to wear the same pants, same ankle sports.
Oh no!
But the second I let go of that,
yeah.
Right. So you know when I come back after I started fighting again, I had a thing with there was a song. I'm coming home. I can't remember what song it was, and I was like, I used to love that song, but I had this dream that if I come out to it, I'd lose. So I thought, so as soon as after all this had happened, I picked it up. I fuck that shit, picked that song. Yeah. So I did it, and like one of the things I put, do what you fear, and it will disappear.
Yeah.
I lost, but I got robbed on a decision.
Yeah.
Right.
So it didn't matter.
Yeah.
And I thought, but I gave my all, I entertained the crowd, and that's where I'd let go then of the
superstitions.
I was bothered about what people thought, how I looked. I was too conscious of that. Because I had to go up in weight classes, I didn't look as conditioned as what I did at 12 stone 4. I was ripped, I got abs, I was in mint condition, but I was always a small welterweight. So as soon as I went up to middleweight and then light heavy and then cruiserweight, I just enjoyed my food. But I was better in training.
Yeah.
I was so
much better in training. You were just a bit happier because you're eating what you wanted. Yeah, man.
Happy when I'm eating.
Happier, made you better in the ring, you know?
But I will read the other book. I want to go, I think after coming to that, so like today, this has helped me now because I've spoke about that other book.
Yeah.
I'll get that other book out because I know I need to read that.
Yeah.
And I think actually I might even see more stuff in there what I've wrote down that was positive and negative, which is still stuff that still might happen. So it's,
that's it. Or you might see stuff in there that's not necessarily in other bits and bobs that you've forgotten about. Oh my God, that came true. That actually, So
but all that with manifestation, visualization, it works. Asking like Jim Carrey, asking the universe. If you focus on something every single day. Now don't get me wrong, you can't say, oh, I want to win the lottery. Never gonna work. It's never gonna work because I wanted it, but I put the work in. Yeah. And I've gone days, weeks, months with no money. And I've literally, but something always comes good. I know I feel like I've got someone on my shoulder. I feel like I've got people with me all the time, spirits or whatever. Don't believe in God, but I don't know. There's somebody looking after me. Yeah. There's somebody looking after me.
It's got to be quite hard to not believe that after everything that's happened. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Definitely.
100%.
But I've met some unbelievable people. I've been gifted with changing people's lives on a daily basis. I've gave people the platform to perform on my shows. And that alone, to sort of sit back. The one thing this lockdown's, another thing that's taught me is, not that I took it for granted, it's actually made me realise I'm my own worst critic. I don't feel
self-critical. Yeah, I am. I
don't think I deserve happiness. Well, and I don't know. I don't feel I'll ever get it. But what lockdown's taught me is I've took a step back, looked at what I've done, And I'm so grateful for what I've done. And I feel so like I've achieved something. And I've never felt that way in 42 years.
You feel a sense of accomplishment. And
I feel a sense of worth. And I've always felt worthless or insignificant. Whereas now I like the feeling of feeling significant in people's lives, changing people's lives on a daily basis.
How good does that feel though, man? I love it. I love it. I even just as little things like on my Snapchat, even though in my head I think, oh God, I feel awful today. You know what? No, overcome it. I'll do a quick video on my Snapchat. You beautiful people, wake up. I say that. I said that the other week. I was like, draw your curtains, make your bed, get downstairs, walk the dog, get outside, get some endorphins, feel good. Now I get a few messages a day, man, going, thanks, man. You really make my day, you do. I've done my job then. I've done my job.
Dude, I really like your Snapchats apart from when you sing.
When I sing, mate,
and you're a good singer.
Yeah, but they make people laugh. That's what I mean. I've made them laugh, do you know what I mean?
You have to add me on Snapchat now.
One thing I've noticed about your Snapchats, because you get up quite early, far too like energetic and alive at that time in the morning, mate. I'm like, mate,
5:30 in the morning.
I haven't had a coffee yet. And
I'm on the way to work, mate.
Like,
start work at 6.
Got it.
Yeah, but it helps me as well.
I know I need to.
You know, if I'm shouting like that to people, get up, do this, do that, and I put it down, I go, yeah, that's what
I've got a Hungarian pro, ex-pro K1. He had something like 32 fights in China in 12 months. He's fucking hard as nails. His nickname's the Pitbull. Gabriel. We'll call him Gabriel, but he's
Animal.
Yes, he's honestly, check him out. He's on my Facebook. Well, because he works shifts and he's had a baby and stuff. He's like, he's got the code to my gym, and he trains at 4 o'clock. So he comes to my gym, but he goes running first, then comes to the gym, trains at 4, then goes to work at 6 and does a shift. And he was doing that, and he was like, yeah, I'm getting bored of training on my own. I went, you know what, I'm going to get up and do some 4 a.m. sessions with you. So I started getting up and doing some 4 a.m. sessions.
2 days later, you thought, fuck.
2 weeks. No, I did it. But then what, because we've been upping it with the rowing and stuff, my legs have been blown out. But Gabriel, because he's old school, we're literally standing and fucking hacking each other's legs to bits with bare shin. So I'm having to do that, then go back upstairs, go back to bed for a couple of hours, then wait for like Sean to come and was like rowing and fucking skiing, and my legs have been just been hacked to bits.
Jesus Christ.
So I've knocked it on head for the last couple of weeks.
Well, people do it, like you said, there's people that do it too much as well, because some people like that don't realise how important sleep is.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to be like that, exerting yourself so much a day,
and my days are busy. If I've got one-to-ones, or I mean, kids can be hard work anyway, but if I've got them, then the one-to-ones, I don't ever switch off. And if I'm, say, when the shows start again, I can't wait to plan a show, but I don't switch off. I'm up till 2, 3 in the morning, then I'm back up at 6 training.
Shit.
So...
Yeah, man.
One thing I never struggle with is sleep. It's like 11 o'clock and I'm just like, and I'm gone. I can't do late nights. I can't do that. I should. I work for myself, but I just can't. I can't do it. So fair play to you.
You're still cracking with the gym, man. But yeah, man, we've been going for a while. So is there anything else you want to add to it, or anything else you want to say?
Anyone you want to thank? Any shout outs?
Yeah, shout. I mean, everyone is sort of part of it.
Hold on, let me go through my phone book.
I want to miss everyone off now. Just everyone that's sort of been just part of the journey. There's some people that's very, very significant in my life, and they know who they are, and I speak to them daily, weekly. I'll meet up with people that's important to me.
They know.
And I've built something that I know that Mansfield, all the surrounding areas, they feel at home. I've got guys, Tom and Cody, they come from Shire, but they brought lads. Tom's from Cresswell. They're fucking travelling every day to come to my gym.
That's quite a distance.
Massive.
The gym, isn't it?
For that alone, for me, I think
with how many gyms there are,
I must be doing something right.
Because people appreciate your work, mate, and people,
I've got kids come from Ollerton.
You just have that effect.
So they're passing all the gyms in Mansfield to get to my gym.
Yeah.
But I've got that last
You might have already tried all those gyms. Like I've tried fucking, I think 90% of the gyms in Mansfield. Probably all of them.
I think I added them up on the last show. I've got 26 fighters in my gym. That's unheard of.
Wow.
We used to, when we had a good squad, when I was at my old gym, I think there was about sort of like 8 or 9 of us that were good. I've got just 20 fucking, and I know top draw fighters, I think, where I know really good. There's at least 15 of them.
Wow.
So
are you including yourself in that?
Obviously. Not now, Jesus, I'm like butterbean now.
Like you say though, mate, it's like your own little family of friends, isn't it? You know what I mean? You all have a right.
It's hard not to get. It's not hard to not get attached to it.
Yeah.
I've got Jody, who I'm training at the minute. Jody Smith-Hard. He's so funny. We call it tinner on seal because what you see is what you get. Really.
Tinner on seal.
But he's
does what it says on the tin.
Yeah, but he's got the biggest heart. One of the most genuine guys I've met, and he makes me laugh. And I love coaching him. And he has 1-to-1s every week. And his missus is getting him a 3-fight pass, so he's going to fight as soon as I can do a show. So he's buzzing.
Yeah.
So he's in his.
You have to drop us a couple of tickets, bro. We'll be there.
I'll drop some tickets. Commentators.
Yeah.
We could do commentators.
Put up in the left corner.
I'm not really.
I know it's the ring announcer. I'm thinking ring announcer. You know what I mean?
So
yeah,
awesome. We'll put links to all your socials. If you've got a website,
brilliant.
we'll put all that below. So if anybody wants to find out more about the gym, that get signed up at his gym or any of the other bits and bobs. Obviously, we can't promote any shows because we're not attending at the moment. But
they'll all be there on your Facebooks, on your whatever, all your socials. Obviously, when as soon as something comes up, it's going to be there, mate.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. It's been brilliant.
And we look forward to the time when you can start doing some shows and stuff because I remember actually when you went to that last one, I mentioned it. So
it was fucking good, man. It's so good to get you up and get you going, man. Doesn't it? You know what I mean? You feel alive. I like it. I did. Yeah. That's why I was like, I need to go to more. I need to start going to more of these shows, man. But yes, guys, if you've enjoyed today's show, then obviously drop us a like, comment down below and tell us what you really think. And
thank you for coming in and telling your story, mate.
I appreciate it. Thanks for asking me.
Hats off to you, literally, for what you've been through, and I hope that you go on to do more amazing things and keep sharing your gift, if you like.
Definitely.
Helping people.
Yeah, we'll do 100%.
Amazing.
Yeah, great work, man. Don't forget to subscribe, guys.
Subscribe down below for more, comment, follow all the links and everything below.
Yeah,
awesome. Nice one.
Peace out.
Thanks very much.
Later.
Peace out.
Cheers, brother.
See you, mate.